Flies by Debbie and Brendan Gallagher. Mini beasts are small animals like flies and spiders. Although they're small, mini beasts are a mighty collection of animals. They belong in three animal groups: arthropods, mollusks, and annelids. Flies. Flies belong to an arthropod group of animals. This means they have an outer skeleton and a body divided into sections. Flies are a type of insect. Flies are closely related to mayflies and dragonflies. What does a fly look like? Flies have a body that's divided into three parts. These parts are the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. They have 2 wings and 6 legs. Flies have 2 special eyes called compound eyes. Compound eyes are made of lots of tiny eyes. Flies also have antennae on their head. Different types of flies. There are more than 150,000 different species of flies. They can be as small as 1/24 of an inch, that's 1 millimeter, to as long as 2.5 inches long. Midges are sometimes called no-see-ums because they're so small and hard to see. Crane flies are one of the largest species. Many types of insect have the word fly in their name, like butterfly and firefly. However, those are not flies because they have more than 1 pair of wings. Where in the world are flies found? Flies can be found on all continents, including parts of Antarctica. They can also be found on most islands. The Antarctic midge is one of just a few animals that can live in Antarctica. Even though it's only 1/12 of an inch long, it's Antarctica's largest land animal. Flies live in all types of habitats. They live in forests, up mountains, on beaches, and in many deserts. Some species of fly young can even live in boiling water. Hoverflies need flowers in their habitat. Some species of flies live in human habitats, such as farms and towns. These species include some fruit flies, house flies, bluebottles, and mosquitoes. Life cycles of flies. A life cycle diagram shows the stages of a fly's life from newborn to adult. Most flies live for only a few days, while some live a few months. During this time, they must mate and lay eggs that will hatch into new flies. How do flies live? Nearly all species of flies live on their own. They spend their lives flying around looking for food. When they find food, they taste it using the hairs on their feet. Some flies swarm together. They usually do this around sunset. Most swarms are made up of male flies trying to attract female flies. Fly homes. Flies do not make homes to live in. When they need to rest, they take shelter. Flies take shelter on walls and fences, under leaves, or in trees. Flies live near the types of foods they like to eat. Female flies lay their eggs near or on food. Fly young can eat this food when they hatch. Flies cannot chew, so their food must be in liquid form. They use a proboscis to suck up liquid food. Many flies only feed on nectar and pollen. Flies spit a special juice on this solid food. This juice turns the food into a liquid. The fly then sucks up the liquid food. How do flies fly so well? Flies can fly very well. This is because they beat their wings very quickly using strong muscles. Flies can hover in the air, which means they can also stay flying in the same position. They can also turn around while hovering. Flies can even fly backward and upside down. Threats to the survival of flies. Flies are threatened by other animals. Many different predators feed on flies, such as birds, spiders, and toads. Many fly predators will also eat fly eggs, larvae, and pupa. The survival of some species of flies is threatened by humans. When people build farms and cities, fly habitats may be lost. Some fly species that have lost their habitats are now extinct. Flies are an important part of the environment they live in. Flies feed on other animals and on plants, and many animals feed on them. This is shown in a food web. Flies help to break down animal droppings called dung and rotting foods in their environment. They change this waste into soil. However, flies that eat dung and rotting foods can spread diseases. Some species of fly help to pollinate flowers. Flies visit flowers to drink their nectar. Pollen sticks to their body and is carried to other flowers. This helps create new plants. Chocolate is made using seeds of the cacao tree. The cacao tree can only be pollinated by one species of fly. Without this fly, there would be no chocolate. The end. Here are some tips for watching flies. Choose a warm, sunny day when flies are more likely to be out in the open. Look for flies when there are flowers, such as a garden or park. Put out some old food and wait for flies to come. Flies are good at seeing movement, so you move slowly so you don't disturb them.